back with yet another amazing recipe. I am so excited. Yet another day, because today at the Young's house, Gina Young is going to share with you all how easy it is to make delicious crab cakes. These crab cakes right here are so amazing. They're so easy to make, doesn't require a lot of ingredients, and if you make it Gina Young style, they're going to be so tasty. Y'all never had my crab cakes before. Better make you some. Here are the lovely ingredients you're going to need. The first thing that you would need would be some crab meat. I have some beautiful private select crab meat here. All right, so now we have 2 of them, and I believe they're 8 ounces. Yes, they are 8 ounces. You're gonna need some lemon. We're gonna be using some lemon zest, some lemon juice, okay? You're gonna need an egg so we can bind everything together. And also you're gonna need some beautiful veggies to make this thing taste good and also look beautiful. So right here we have a gorgeous red bell pepper. We have a green bell pepper, nice sweet Vidalia onion, and you're gonna need some mayonnaise. So I decided to use Hellmann's today. You can use any savory mayonnaise that you love. And we have some Dijon mustard. If you're not a fan of Dijon, use any kind of mustard, but I definitely feel like it needs some type of mustard. You will need some crackers. So we have some Ritz crackers, any kind of crackers you have around the house will do the trick for this recipe. We're also gonna be making a homemade tartar sauce. All you're gonna need for your tartar sauce is a savory mayonnaise. You will need a little bit of sugar and pickles, okay? We're going to use some garlic powder and lemon juice. That's going to be for our tartar sauce, and a couple of spices to spice everything up. Here's what you'll need this way. So right here I have some Tony's Creole seasoning, black pepper, salt, and a little bit of Pam spray. You may wonder what the Pam spray is for, but I'll tell you as we go on with this recipe. Make sure your hands are impeccably clean. Let's get started with this really quick and simple, yet so tasty recipe. I couldn't be more excited to show you all how easy it is to make these delicious crab cakes. You all asked for it. Everybody has been asking me, Gina, can you please show us how to make crab cakes? Well, today is your lucky day because this recipe right here is so simple and it is delicious. Now, the first thing that we want to do is we want to take our crab meat, pour it onto a platter or, some type of plate or a bowl. And what we're going to need to do is something really interesting. And this part is very important. Feel through it, okay? I want you to kind of just do a number like this. It's very important. What are you doing, Gina? Well, here's what I am doing. I'm feeling to see if there's any shells because sometimes during the manufacturing process, there can be some shells left behind. I have opened these before and felt the little shell and then you just take it out. So I'm just kind of searching all through it just like so. And once you're happy and you see and you can feel that there are absolutely no shells, then we can move on. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Beautiful. And guess what? This crab meat right here, it smells so fresh. It should never smell funky. It should never smell stinky. It should never be slimy. It should have a great feel to it. Like I said, never slimy and smell nice and fresh like the sea, but never fishy, okay? So now, another thing that I want to talk about before we go any further is there's 2 ingredients that I also want to incorporate. When you're making a crab cake, you want to give it as much flavor as you can. So I want to incorporate garlic powder, and I'm also going to incorporate seafood seasoning, which is our Old Bay seasoning. It's going to give us great flavor there, okay? So now, let's scoot this aside, and we're going to go ahead and get started chopping up some veggies just like so, okay? And you don't need too much, okay? So I'm going to use about that much bell pepper. And what I want to do is I really want to make that bell pepper nice and finely chopped up, nothing too big. Okay, see that? And then we'll run our knife through it several other times to get it even smaller. Okay, I'm using the different colors for decoration purposes for this video, but honestly, when I make this for my family, I only use a green bell pepper, But we want to make it nice and beautiful. Add you a red or a yellow or orange bell pepper just to brighten up the color in the inside. Okay, so now I'm going to chop this up. There's a couple of different ways that you can do your bell peppers and your onions. You can put them in chopped up very, very fine if you want to, right? Like I'm gonna do today. Or you can saute them before they go into your mixture, okay? When you chop them up nice and fine, they will cook, okay? This crab cake does not take a long time to cook in the oven, so you want to chop these up teeny tiny pieces, okay? If you make big pieces, the crab cake will be done and your veggies will not be done in the inside. That's why it's very important to make these vegetables nice and fine, or you saute them. So when I come back, we'll get started on the red bell pepper and the onion, just like so. Let's chop up some of the red bell pepper just like so. I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. Hey, listen, let me know in the comment section below, have you ever tasted a crab cake, or have you ever made them? And if you make them, how do you like to make yours? I love to hear all of the different ways people like to make different things. It's so great to look at the comments and everyone is responding to my question that I asked you in the video, you know. So yeah, let me know. Or, you know, maybe you don't like crab cakes. And here, if you're that person that doesn't like crab cakes, I highly suggest something to you. Don't knock this recipe right here until you try it. You gotta try the recipe. You have to try the recipe. When you try it, guarantee you're gonna love this recipe, okay? So now that I have the peppers nice and chopped up, just like so in this manner, I'm gonna get started on that infamous onion. You all know. You know the relationship that me and onions have. Every time I go to cut them, my eyes start to water. So we're gonna hope and pray that I don't go off crying because of the onion when I come back. Okay, so we have our peppers and onions nice and chopped up. We have ran through the crab meat with our fingers just to make sure that there's no shells. Let's go ahead and add our finely chopped up veggies just like so in this manner. Right? So now, here's what I want to do, something really interesting. This really makes this nice and bright and gives you like a umami flavor, okay? Make them say, umami, where'd she get this recipe from? Well, we're going to use half of a lemon, the zest. Don't use the white pith. That white pith has the sour taste, believe it or not, really funky taste. But this part right here, oh, listen, it's delicious. It's so bright. And it tastes really good. So we're going to use half the lemon zest. Okay. Let's get all that off, and then we're going to scrape it right into this bowl. Okay. We're going to put a little bit of juice in too. Juice of half a lemon. Okay. See that? All that goodness? Get in there. All right. Lemon juice. Half a lemon. Don't put no more, no less. Beautiful. Okay. And then I want to crack an egg. Okay, nice, beautiful, fresh egg. That's going to serve as our binder. And also our crackers will serve as a binder, okay, to help everything kind of come together so we can make up a nice patty. There's a couple of different ways you can make this. You can fry it, of course, and in a past video of mine, I've showed you all how to fry them. But today I figured we're going to do it a little much lighter. We're going to bake them, and I want to show you that they can turn out delicious when they're baked. So easy, and they taste like they were fried. Okay, so this is a half a cup, and I want to start off with a half a cup only of the mayonnaise. If I feel like, I always start off with a half a cup. If I feel like I need some more, then we'll go in with some more, okay? So now, but let's start off with that half a cup. All right, let's set this aside. And we're gonna start to mixing up just like so. Really get that egg, those veggies, that mayo, nice and mixed up. Be sure not to use a sweet mayonnaise like Miracle Whip, because that wouldn't be for this recipe, okay? It has to be a nice savory mayonnaise. And I tell you what, this smells so good right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get it nice and mixed up. Now that everything is nice and mixed up, let's go ahead and season this baby, okay? So now we're gonna go in. I'm not gonna have specific measurements for the spices. I'm gonna use a nice amount of spice. Like I said, this recipe has to have good seasoning, okay? That was Old Bay seasoning. We're gonna go in with some salt, but I'm not gonna get all wild with the salt, okay? You never wanna do that. If your family wants more salt, they can add more salt themselves, you know, to the finished product. Garlic powder and a nice amount of it. We're gonna use some of the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. Boom. Black pepper. All right. And we're gonna use a tablespoon If you want to use a tablespoon and a half of the Dijon, you can. There's a tablespoon and a little less than a half, okay? Use regular mustard if that's what you love, okay? All this right here is great flavors, you hear me? So now what we're gonna do, we wanna get this nice and mixed up, and I want you all to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. And make sure you have a baking dish, okay? Now, I'm gonna talk to the people that just might want to fry theirs. If you want to fry yours, you're gonna get some breadcrumbs or some cracker crumbs. After you make up your patty, you're gonna dip your patty into breadcrumbs or into flour or into crackers, right? You get just a little tiny bit of oil in your pan and you fry them babies until they're golden brown on both sides. But since we are not frying these today, we don't need to coat them in anything, okay? We're just gonna make up the patty, but the crackers will be crushed and we're gonna put them into our mixture to hold our cake together, okay? We'll do this when I come back. So now that we have our mixture nice and mixed up, I want you all to look at the consistency and see if this is a consistency that you're wanting. This was perfect, and I'm so happy with that half a cup of mayonnaise. That did the perfect job for me, okay? So now I'm just gonna set this aside. We need to talk about what we're gonna do with our crackers here, okay? You can use crackers, you can use breadcrumbs, whatever you wanna use, okay? Potato chips, all right? So now I wanna kinda let the air out of the bag, and then I'm just gonna bang the crackers in this manner. If you have a food processor, of course you could use that, but you know, this right here get the job done, okay? Or you could just kind of mush it together until you get small pieces. So I'm gonna continue to do that to make sure I don't have big, huge chunks of crackers. And then we're gonna pour between a half a cup and a little over a half a cup of these cracker crumbs into our mixture so we can make our patties up. Got the crackers nice and crushed up. And you see that I use the Ritz cracker, any kind of crackers you guys have around the house. And I know how much between a half a cup and a little over a half a cup is. So I'm just gonna eyeball mine, okay? Just like so. And I'm gonna show you how you can tell that you have the perfect mixture, because we're gonna make the patty up and then we're gonna kind of toss it in the air. And as long as it stays together, it holds together, you're gonna have an amazing crab cake that doesn't have a lot of filling. Have you all ever went out to your local restaurant? You ordered a crab cake and it had more filling in it than anything and you couldn't taste the crab meat. Well, this is not gonna happen in this case. You see, we got a ton of crab meat and a little bit of crackers, okay? So I feel like I need a little bit more and then we'll make up our patties when I come back. Let's make up the patties, take a look. All right, so look. If it stays together like that, kind of interesting, right? That's the same trick that I showed you guys to do when we make up the salmon patties. Same thing. If you can do that, you know it's gonna stay together, right? If you can toss that baby in the air and bring it back down, it stays together. It's definitely gonna stay together in your frying pan or in your oven. So, there are some people that like to make theirs really big. I'm not that person. Kind of, you know, if you got any spots that is opening up, you just use your finger to kind of, you know, put it together, okay? I like to make mine's medium size, and then you also could make something that's called like a crab cake croquette. And what I feel like a croquette is, you can do the same thing with salmon or tuna patties, is make smaller ones like this, like bite size for a party, for a graduation. Listen here, you'll turn some people out with that recipe. Okay, make them teeny tiny and you'll see how quick they go. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, same thing. Boom, boom. If you can't get them all the same size, like I never can, don't freak out about it, it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna put about 4 on here. Let's do another one. This recipe is so relaxing. It's so rewarding to see your family and loved ones just really kind of go nuts over this recipe. Like, who doesn't love crab? You know, and when they taste this, they're gonna be so happy that you made this for them. Look at that, beautiful, right? If you happen to have a little extra of the mixture left over, you can put it into a freezer bag and use it the next day, but I really don't suggest using it like the day after. You know, the next day is fine, but if you have to wait another day, just toss it on out, okay? Take a look. And now we got to do something a little special. This one's tiny, so I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Here's what we got to do special to this. Put your oven 375 degrees. Plan to cook it until it's nice, beautiful, and golden brown. I have to wash up my hands, but when I come back, I'm going to show you what we have to do with this Pam spray so we can make the top of these nice, beautiful, and golden brown. So the last finishing touch, I like to add some Old Bay seasoning on the top, or sometimes you'll see me add paprika to make it nice and beautiful. Okay, beautiful. All right, and then the Pam spray, what was it for? Well, it was to get this nice and golden brown by putting that little tiny bit of oil on the top. It's going to help it to assist make it golden brown. This goes in the oven until it's that perfect color that you all love when you think of crab cakes. When I come back, I'm gonna say an amazing prayer. You're gonna get that first bite. Let's make some homemade tartar sauce. Here's how it's done, so simple. Let's take some mayonnaise. You can use Miracle Whip for this if you wanted to. And if you use Miracle Whip, listen here, you don't need sugar. Since I'm using a savory mayonnaise, I need a little bit of sugar, okay? So I'm just gonna use a nice kind of heaping, I don't know, a nice pinch, let's just say that, okay? And right here, I have one pickle spare that I chopped up, okay? Get that in there just like so in this manner. All right, and then you need lemon juice. Gotta have the lemon juice, yes. The juice from a half of a lemon, okay? We will be putting some garlic powder in, but what I wanna do, go ahead and mix it up right now. This is some of the best tartar sauce you ever had, okay? But you have to have that sugar. You have to have the pickle and the lemon juice in order for this to taste delicious. Just a splash of garlic powder and we're done. When I come back, I'll grab the garlic powder and we'll put some in. Look at that. Garlic powder going in. About that much. And now, well, let's mix it first. We taste. We taste. Listen, that's some good eating right here. Make you some Gina Young style. Ooh, that's good. Take a look at it, everybody. Gina Young style homemade crab cakes. Make you some. Listen here, everybody. If you all enjoyed this video, tell the whole world about Gina Young. Let's say a really quick prayer. Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you once again for this beautiful meal today. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen. So I thought that I'd do something really fun really quickly. So what I did, this is the frozen kind you can purchase in the seafood section. Just throw them in the oven. I wanted to taste theirs and I wanted to taste mine and see which one was better. First thing I want to do, I got to show you the inside of this one. No fillers. All you see is that gorgeous crab meat, veggies galore. Okay, this is way too hot, okay? Now this one here, this one's cooled down. You kind of see more bread than anything. Let's give it a taste. Oh, yeah, I gotta taste mine. Hot or not? Make you some. God bless.